4 minutes after the hour, 4 minutes after the hour of 5 p.m. in Ambazonia. Here comes your historian. Our Amba history today, the fourth, is not the third, today the fourth, is going to be very, very pregnant. And in the course of this Amba history that we are going to have very, very pregnant today, I am going to have as a guest in the house Barrister Tim, and we will be addressing some issues because Ambazonians need to be continuously taught, encouraged, and of course, given the right path to follow and the way to go. And so, in our Amba history today, like I said, we will be having a special edition to teach and to repeat a number of things that have been told Ambazonians. And before we get into that, let me get us here with a bit of music and we will be right back. All right, our anchor brother, no, our Reverend Pastor, you are not anchor, so we shouldn't quote you to any other person. Good evening in Boya, and welcome to Tell Us Again.
Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. You know my name, oh Daddy. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. I can see your hand in my life. Lord, I see your love upon me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. I dey hear your voice in my heart. Lord, I feel your love over me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the pillow. Abba Father, you know my name. Papa, you know me. Yeah. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yeah, yeah. Jesus, your love, now oh. My master, your kindness, now wonder oh. Every time I look around, now you are the sea. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. Jesus, you said I be a picking, no. Jesus, you said your love will cover me. Every time I look around, now you are the sea. Every time I look around, now you are the pillow. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, yeah. You know me, you know my name. Papa, you know my name, oh.
Thank you very much, Reverend Sama. People of Ambazonia, welcome once again to our program. If you are there, please share the link on Facebook, on YouTube, and get ready for an onslaught. Today, we are going to be discussing, still touching the issue of referendum and other few things that some spoilers and some illiterates trying to make Ambazonians not to understand the true meaning of what is going on. But we will not allow that to go on while we are here in ABC. All right. Our guest is in the house. Not really a guest, but the man of the house is really in here with us, and we would like to have him greet the people of Ambazonia. When he greets the people of Ambazonia, then we will now go ahead and then share the bit that we want to share with you so that we can be on the same page. So I'm going to invite Barrister Tim, who will come into the house and greet the people in the house, and then we will play some excerpt. We will actually be analyzing lies, and not only lies, but ignorance. Is it actually ignorance or illiteracy? Take it the way you want to take it. We'll actually be analyzing it to let the Ambazonian people know where we are coming from. Barrister, welcome into the house and greet your people.
Thank you, Pastor, for having me once more. I hope people will follow us, listen to us. And if perchance not everybody is here, I will encourage those who are here to distribute what I say worldwide for all interested Ambazonians and for all interested people worldwide who are interested in our problem. Because as I've said all the time, my contributions are always educational. And I leave it to the people, you take it or leave it. But if you have counter information, facts, not imagination, you are at liberty to contact me privately or come on publicly and challenge what I say. And so it's a learning curve. It is to make people stop going astray. It is meant to stop people wearing the cap that doesn't belong to them. Thank you very much once more. I'm here to clarify a number of things.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go in and listen to an excerpt of what somebody had said, particularly pinpointing and mentioning the name of barristers. I will be playing some little excerpts. This fellow is not even worth to be mentioned on our national TV, but because of his utterances, we will have to make the people of Ambazonia to know that there are some people who are sold out to the enemy. Just listen to this.
To Rome, no matter your geographical location, all roads leads to Rome. The Southern Cameroons question. Let me tell Southern Cameroonians and this enabler and any other enabler. For people are fast making themselves irrelevant, like Sako himself, who is an enabler. Let me call Sako the name he deserves now. Sako is an enabler, and his gang of confusionists are enablers. I'm sorry, I followed a TV presentation from ABC. The person I really could be sorry for, pitied for, was Barrister Timothy Mbeseha. Let me tell you Barrister Timothy Mbeseha something that he fails to understand. It it is not always that you toe party lines. Yes, as a man of principles, it's not always that you toe party lines. There are moments within the party that you see the party going wayward, and you say, "No, I'm not gonna follow you guys here." And you come out with your own true self than killing your own self from within because of towing party lines. I really pity you. For Brother Timothy knows that a referendum is also part of the solution of the people of the Southern Cameroons. But because of party lines, you guys have been can Barrister Thomas, what do they call him, Mbeseha, be one of those brainwashed by Sako? One that shall never end.
Okay. We paused it for a while, and Barrister, the microphone is right in your hands to answer this. I don't know whether I call him.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank the knowledgeable Mr. Sama for your utterances. For the record, those who follow me all the time, I don't make audios. I've never made one because I don't have time for that. And let me say it from the start. I've been able to stomach the rubbish that comes from this so-called Sama for a long time. I never came out to talk to him. I never did anything. But I know more about Sama than most of you know, and I will come to explain why. From his introduction, he's talking about his so-called referendum. The short and simple answer to it is, let me challenge Sama. Sama, by his own intellectual level, I say emphatically, does not even understand what is a referendum. He doesn't understand what it is. He says it is one of the pathways to Southern Cameroon independence. Maybe you think so. Poor Sama, I'm sorry for you. It is not a pathway to Southern Cameroon independence. That's not my issue. But you start by your very first line, you say we are enablers, stupid people, enablers. Sako, if you say you're sorry or you have pity for me, poor Sama, I'm sorry, sir. You will learn more about yourself as you progress. I don't know how much time we have, but yeah, your introduction is referendum, for which you think I, in particular, am towing the party line. No, sir, I'm not towing any party line. What I've given out, which is all on record, is purely educational. If you have anything that you think I said, which you think you have some idea, which you don't have, put it out. I've put out so many things about the referendum. Organization, supervision, observation. I put out all this. The role of the international community, the role of the local government. I put this all in audio, in videos. If you have something to say, challenge me on those things. Don't come out vomiting nonsense here. So, poor Sama, you don't know it. You have no idea about referendum. You have never taken part in one. Probably because you read somewhere in the Cameroon Post or some stupid about Mbamanda, you think that you know little or nothing about it. But I did not intend to attack you. I just intended to have people educated. And that's why I put out what I've put up to this point. Mr. Komnando, continue. Moderator, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Barrister. This fellow has not finished his ranting on you. He is challenging and telling you that you know. I mean, let me not interpret his words. Let me put it for you to actually hear what he is saying.
It's also part of the solution of the people of the Southern Cameroons.
No.
But because of party lines, you guys have been can Barrister Thomas, what do they call him, Mbeseha, be one of those brainwashed by Sako? Chai! One that shall never end. How can Barrister Mbeseha, in his normal senses, sit there and he's saying that, oh, a referendum is not a solution to Southern Cameroon's question because the Southern Cameroon has been independent? Yes, the Southern Cameroon has been independent. The Southern Cameroon is independent. All of us accept. Why are we fighting today and why are we in exile? Why has Barrister Mbeseha been on exile for more than 40 to 50 years today? Why? If the Southern Cameroon is independent, why have you been on exile for more than 50 years today? Explain to us. All of you who are saying that the Southern Cameroon is independent, why are you, all of you, because all of you are on exile? Even some of the misguided fools who are back home, like the fool I heard from Kumbu yesterday, running his mouth without knowing what he was about to say. Why is he in the bush fighting if the Southern Cameroon is independent?
Okay. Barrister, over to you.
Let me just say this. Again, I don't know Sama. I've never met him. I have no idea about him. But I will come to tell you more about him. What I know, from what everybody knows, is that Sama is from Mezam. He belongs, or belonged at one time, to the Mezam County. Sama was an official of the Mezam County. I think at the time, Gertrude Kisa was the chair lady. Mr. Sama was thrown out of the Mezam County for reasons that he knows. I'm not part of Mezam County, but he was dismissed. So if he was so important, how would he be thrown out of his own country by his own Mankon people, by his own Bamanda people? But that's not important. The most important thing that I will come to is that Sama, that I know, at least from communication, lives in Belgium. He's an Ambazonian who lives in Belgium. And I insist on that because I will come to his residence and say why I'm putting this issue squarely here. Again, Mr. Sama says, I'm one of the worst lawyers that he has ever come across. Poor Sama. You cannot vet any lawyer, not even a people lawyer, not even a clerk in the office of a lawyer. So I don't care about your vetting because you know nothing. You don't qualify to vet anybody. Not to vet even a cowboy in Bamanda. How much more of a lawyer? So, Mr. Sama, I will come back to tell you. I've said it already. You may believe in your referendum. I have no problem with those people who believe. You are free to believe even the wrong thing. You are free even to go and die because of your beliefs, which are all wrong. That's your freedom. You don't have any reason to insult anybody. I've never insulted you. You know, I wish this thing gets to you. You know, many times we've disagreed privately. I've never put it out there. Disagreed over your stupidity. Disagreed over your ignorance. I'm coming to it. But again, Mr. Sama, you're making no point at all. You're not challenging anything that I said. So I've said this before. Poor Sama, I'm sorry for you. Again, don't wear the cap that is not yours. Don't pick a fight you cannot fight. To you, Sama, and whoever is in this struggle, pick the fight that fits you. Don't pick the fight you cannot fight. And I can say here on the record, Sama, you cannot fight me, Mbeseha, on the facts I give out. Now, and to correct you, Mr. Sama, I don't know where you have been out for 40 years. I've never been out for 40 years, as you say. And then you say stupidly that we say that Southern Cameroon is independent. before you go to ask the question. But before you go to ask your question, you say, yes, we all agree. We all agree South Korea is independent. But then why are we fighting? That's your question. I'll come back to it again. Continue, sir.
Okay, Barrister, thank you very much. Ambazonians, there's an echo here.
I'm getting you.
All right.
People are getting you.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, Ambazonians, we want to let you know that we are here to teach, we are here to educate. That's why in our Amba history, we pick up current events and then we bring them to you to see exactly how um, if you are hearing and getting what we are saying here, we are not here for, oh my God, a challenge. We want to go ahead. And in the course of going ahead, we learn from one another. And when you are reach a point where you cannot learn from one another and you resort into insults and blackmail, you are not fighting the cause. And when you cannot produce evidence of anything that you are talking about, we know it is blackmail. And we have reached a point where everybody and every government that is doing good has this blackmail going on. And I've lived in a society where I saw some certain strange things. When a thief is located and he discovers that people don't know him very much around there, he points fingers at other people and shout, thief, 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 thief. Anyway, Barrister, there are a few other things that this fellow has just mentioned, which I do not know if you want me to continue to let you know to hear what he is saying, or do we switch over now? That's why I said it was good for you to come in and answer for yourself when I heard.
You may want to, but let me say this about Mr. Sama. I said that Sama was an official of the Mezam County. When Sama was thrown away by the Mezam County executive, when he was dismissed, he went back to Belgium. That's where he has been living for the past several years. He went back there and remained in his share. He was publicly irrelevant. Again, I say he was publicly irrelevant until sometimes late last year during the coup plotting, when someone purported to nominate Sama as a member of the so-called Restoration Council. That's where he surfaced publicly. And since then, he has been making these vile audios about people from the platform of his so-called Restoration Council. But again, I said he went back to Belgium and remained silent there, went back to his share. But it was not all that in his share. Because while Sama went back to his share after being dismissed from the Mezam County, I personally, and a few of us, and let me just say myself, I kept touch with Sama. Not because I knew him. No. We thought that it could be relevant to this struggle. And we communicated a lot by email and phone calls. None of us here knows, and nobody knows, except very few, maybe President Sako. He knows about the communications I have with Sama. I don't know this guy. I don't know him, but you ask, why were you communicating with this guy? Listen to me carefully, and Sama listen to me, unless your memory is so shallow. All Ambazonians know that we have been suffering this trouble of human rights violations, violations of all war crimes committed against Ambazonia. All of us know that we've tried to file, we filed actually a petition with the ICC. That filing of the petition by the ICC was sponsored by me, by Sir John Fu, Ambassador Ghana. It's a 200-page document. And in my last outing here, I updated this group that the petition is still pending there. I called them to hear what is going on. The last time I called was 10 days ago. And I explained that they told me that, well, your case is still pending here, wanting resources. I have their number here. But why and how is Sama important in this part of the narration? Sama is important here because we did not end with the ICC. Most of us don't know this fact. We sat down and said, look, in addition to the ICC, there are countries that assume universal jurisdiction over crimes against humanity. Countries assume that, and there are many of them. Among the countries that assume universal jurisdiction is one called Belgium, where Sama resides. So we decided to file petitions to these countries so they might assume jurisdiction over our matter. We filed about 10, one to Belgium, one to South Africa, and many other countries. But what is important here is the one that we filed in Belgium, because that's the one that Sama will have an idea that I want to talk about, which I've never talked about to anybody. We realize that Belgium is very, very active in prosecuting war crimes. And we took the example of Hissène Habré, who was the president of Chad. When he was overthrown, he fled to Senegal. And a Belgian citizen filed a petition under universal jurisdiction in Belgium. And Belgium said, okay, we'll assume jurisdiction over it. We shall try Hissène Habré, even if the ICC is not doing it. They sent an extradition request from Senegal for Hissène Habré. Though Senegal did not deliver up Hissène Habré, Senegal as the African Union, what do we do? This is an embarrassment to send a former head of state to be tried in Belgium. And the African Union created a court, a special court to try Hissène Habré, rather than send him to Belgium. And they did. And today Hissène Habré is in Senegal serving a life sentence for the crimes he committed in Chad. Back to our case. We say, look, let us file this universal jurisdiction and take Belgium for one. So we choose Belgium to be one of the jurisdictions that we shall file the universal jurisdiction. But to file a universal jurisdiction, this is what is important now. You must get a resident of that country who is complaining that I, a resident of this country, they have done this to my people or to my brother or to my sister back home. The other man who found that was very relevant at the time was Sama. He lives in Belgium. So we use Sama's name to file the universal jurisdiction complaint against the Republic of Cameroon and Nigeria
Wow.
for the crimes they committed against us.
Wow.
Because Sama
Chad.
is a Belgian resident. We didn't just do it. We told Sama we are filing this thing, we are using you as a lead person over there. Sama has no idea the content of that document. The 200-page document we filed with the prosecutor of Belgium. Sama has no idea about what is going inside there. But we use his name with his address. And in fact, among all those things that we filed at that time for universal jurisdiction, the country that reacted first, the prosecutor was the prosecutor of Belgium. They wrote back to Sama because now he's not resident there. Sama, we have received your complaint. I don't know your status. What are you here in Belgium? Luckily for us, because we are the petitioners, we signed it as lawyers. They wrote to Sama and sent me a copy of their letter that they have sent to Sama to ask his status. I received that copy of the letter from the prosecutor in Belgium and kept a bit of silence, expecting Sama to call me back. Sama had that letter, he never called back. So I called Sama and said, Sama, did you receive this letter from the prosecutor? He said, yes. I said, what is happening? Why didn't you call back? Because what instructed you that any document you have from the prosecutor concerning this matter, call it back to us. Send it back to us because we know what is the content and we know what we want. For the record, someone told me, well, I don't want to deal with Pastor Sonfro. He's a stupid man. He's a man-con guy. He said that. I said, okay, if you don't want to deal with him, no problem. Deal with me. If you deal with me, you're dealing with Pastor. So if you deal with me, you're dealing with Mr. Ghana. These are three of us who signed this document. So Asama, what do you not do anything? He said, well, I said, okay. They want to know what is your status. Clear? He said, yes. Then I said, what is your status in Belgium? He said, he's a resident. I said, okay, Sama, send me a copy of your residence certificate in Belgium. And I will reply the prosecutor. And he did. I used his resident documents to reply to the prosecutor, telling him that Sama is a Belgian resident. So he has the right to complain. The prosecutor received that thing and said, yeah, that's fine. Now that we're satisfied that he is a Belgian citizen, we can proceed. And what were they going to do? They wrote to me, we want to have an interview, live interview with Sama, who is in Belgium, who is complaining. I got that thing and called Sama. The prosecutor has put a date here for your interview to verify the facts that are in this story. You don't know what's inside. Before you go there, Sama told me he was going to go there with 2 witnesses or 3. I said, before you go to that interview, Sama, call me back. We'll have a Zoom discussion with you and the witnesses that you were going to call there. But before that, when they were still doubting his status, Sama told me that there's a Belgian citizen, a Cameroonian Belgian citizen, who is in Kondengi. We should still go and arrest. Who has been locked up. He went to Cameroon. He was locked. I said, that's good. Now that we have this evidence, that will straighten our case. But we went forward and said, okay, Sama, before you ever go, you told me the witnesses. I said, before you ever go there, let me have a Zoom conference with you. Because you don't know what's in the file. We will educate you what you will say to the prosecutor in his office. Sama said, huh? And what happened? On the day he was supposed to go for the interview, I called Sama. Sama was sitting there with 2-3 people in his house, where was his house, or somewhere. So, no, I'll call you back. Sama never called me back. Sama went to the prosecutor's office on his own, without the information that he needed to go there. Called his entire witnesses and went there. in defiance of what I had instructed him. It was not Mr. John Fossey,
Wow.
it was not Ghana, it was me. Let Sama challenge this. Sama went there in spite of my instructing him not to go until we talk to him and his witnesses because he doesn't know the content of the documents. The 200-page document, he has no idea of the content. But nonetheless, someone went there in defiance of all this. What he told them, I don't know. But what I know is that Sama came back when the coup plotting started. Sama made an audio. I was sitting in his chest of what he told the prosecutor in the prosecutor's office. Oh, if you hear what I told the prosecutor, I did all this. I heard it. I said nothing. I never even replied. I knew that this guy is a bad guy. That was not all. Came January 2021, January 2022. For those of you who are familiar with me, I was very, very sick. I was in the hospital for 6 weeks. The Belgian prosecutor wrote again to Sama asking for certain information to be provided before 5th of January. Sama took the document, did not provide anything, kept it for himself. When I came out of the hospital and found the letter, I was very, very sick. I called Sama, said, Mr. Sama, letter from the prosecutor's office requesting for further information. This was about 10 days after the deadline had passed. What did you do with it? Sama fidgeted around. I insisted. Sama told me a lie. I said, take it to him. Sama told me when the letter came, he was not home, he was changing, he was moving house. So he didn't receive the letter. I have his emails here. It was a lie. Because he did not reply to that thing. He did not furnish the information. On the 23rd, in fact, the matter went to the Belgium Court of Appeal. And on the 23rd of January 2023, the Belgium prosecutor's office wrote to us, say among other things, that they were closing the file. The information they wanted essentially, because we filed the thing under the main plaintiff in that matter was ACT, Amazonian Coalition Team, where we had documents that ACT is registered. We would have given him. The prosecutor wrote that, look, we asked for this information.
Wow.
It didn't come.
So sad.
And because this information did not come, we are closing your file. This letter is dated 23rd January 2023.
Jesus.
They copied me. Sama has never ever called back to me to say the file was closed. I have copies of the letters here. And again, Sama told me a lie that when this letter came requesting information by a certain fixed date, he was changing house, and therefore he did not see it. And finally, when he saw it, what did he do? He did nothing. Again, people who were responsible for that file were three of us, me, Ghana, Mr. John Funso. He didn't even call me. But even if he had called me and learned I was in the hospital, he would have called Sama. He would have called, Pastor Ghana. Funso. But later doesn't know he would not call him because he didn't want to see him, because he's a Mancon guy, he calls him stupid now. He would have been able to update this thing. But it was because of Mr. Sama that our file in the Belgian prosecutor's office was closed on the 23rd of January 2022. I've kept this information to myself, despite all the rantings of Sama over the past 6 months, over the past 8 months, since he became a so-called member of the Restoration Council. And so, this is a guy who, to me, he's stupidly ignorant. Sama has never had a single has never received a single preliminary course in law. He had no idea. And so he's assuming all this nonsense and talking trash over there. And being bold even to mention my name. The man that if I had told this thing earlier, even the coup plotters would have hung him. Because every coup plotter, everybody in this profession, we would like to see you only punished for what they do to our brothers and sisters back home. But Sama killed it, frustrated it. I don't know for what reason, but my only reason I think is that he was so stupidly
Wow.
ignorant. He didn't know what the thing was about. He thought he could answer questions that he didn't know. That's why he went to the prosecutor's office without the people, without our instructions, without taking guidance from us. He did not even know when they wrote to him that what's your status here. He did not even know how to reply. And who took his documents, wrote an official reply to the state prosecutor in Belgium, attaching his document to show that he was legally capable. So this is not an intelligent man. I didn't want to insult him. But again, take a fight, you can fight and win. Sama, again, I hope this is to you. You can fight other people. I will never insult you. I'm not insulting you. You can fight other people. Be sure, take my word, you cannot fight this man talking and win, especially legally. You cannot fight me. You are not competent. Down there, that your audio, you see many things about AAC. What happened in AAC 1 and 2. Oh, Mr. Sama, you probably were there, but you didn't play the role I played. I was in AAC 1 in Boya, very active player. I was in AAC 2 in Bamanda, very active player. Go to Arimbi and ask where we had meetings in the south to make the Bamanda proclamation. You were not there. Probably you were the messenger to Mr. To your man, the chairman, Frundi. But you were not there. Even if you were not there, you didn't go to the death I went.
Not a messenger, a
So when I
gatekeeper.
talk about AAC, for example, that you're ranting there about it, I'm not learning it from you, and I have nothing to learn from you about AAC. Because I was a participant, a very important participant. I don't need to come here and blow my own. I've never done that. So, Mr. Sama,
Wow.
again, don't take a fight, you cannot fight. Don't engage people, you cannot fight. Take fight, I mean, cut your code, as we say in pidgin English, cut your code according to your size.
Jesus Christ.
Again, in this struggle, we take things because we have assumed certain positions. And if I can just divert that, you say President Sako is an enabler, poor Sama, the greatest enabler you have ever seen, and the man who stole money. Please watch your tongue. Again, I'm sure this thing is being recorded. Let this thing reach Sama and let him come out and challenge me on these facts I've given, on his role in the destruction of Amazonia. Let him challenge me. I have his documents here. What I'm saying is in writing. It's not an imagination. So, poor Sama, call your code according to your size. Before you ever mention my name in any of your stupid audios, think twice. Think twice. Because I don't say things about people. I don't talk about people. You don't hear me calling names. When I come on for anything, I give facts and the possible law that is attached to it. Whether that information comes from whoever, I don't call you by name. I give the facts as they are and give the law that supports it. You want to talk about referendum? I said, and I continue to insist for Mr. Sama to know, that the United Nations does not organize referendums. They never organize referendums. I gave an example. The plebiscite of 1961 was not organized by the United Nations. They played the simple role of supervisor. So, Mr. Sama, if you don't know this, know it. And I showed on this forum, the role the United Nations plays in elections worldwide. And that is the possible role they can play. If you have any contrary views, legally binding, come to it. And as said, Again, to conclude this topic, what is said on the referendum and elections by the United Nations or international community is based on my personal participation in some of those events worldwide. So, Sama, thank you for your audio. I hope you learned something. If you're as intelligent as you are, as you claim to be, you must be able to learn something. Again, to end up, poor Sama, before you ever make an audio and call my name there anymore, be advised that I have an adequate response for you. That response will never include insults. Throughout, it will not be insulting you. It will never include insults.
Wow.
It will just include facts to educate you. Thank you, Pastor Komnando. I hope this thing reaches Sama and his people who are propping him up. I don't know how Sama became a member of the Restoration Council, the most prominent member of the Restoration Council. He makes audios more than any other person. We have not even seen the Dr. Epas, who were there impeaching a president when Sama was not even part of it. So poor Sama, I'm sorry to say this. Again, call your code account to your size. Engage fight battles you can fight and win. I'm not here for popularity shows. Thank you.
Wow. 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 It's not good to go to the can of worms and open it. I have heard people say that before you come to equity, you must come with clean hands. And Barrister, you have been keeping this information that would have delivered Ambazonians a long time ago. And this particular agent of La Republique, as is accusing other people, took it and sat on it, refused to take the action that he was supposed to take. And today he is the first to be calling people names and accusing people. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to tell this fellow. My people say that illiteracy is a disease and is more expensive than education. Because if this guy had gone to school to know a little bit that the document that was given in his custody to deliver Ambazonians was all that important, I'm sure that even though the document was given for him to follow up, he did not know the importance, and up till now, as he's trying to make himself relevant, he doesn't even know the havoc he has caused the Ambazonian people. Because I know that if the Ambazonian people know and understand that this man stopped a process that was being carried out in Belgium, and that process was given under his care, and Ambazonians will spew him out. Ama, he is running his mouth and making noise to cover up. It is so sad. It's so sad that Barrister, thank you very much. We come here not to expose people, but to talk how we can build. But when people are destructive and they try to make other people look bad and portray themselves as if they are the angels of the battle, and things like this are coming out, I will personally make a copy of what you have said here and sent to Sama Thomas. Let him reply. Let him tell us what happened with the process, with the 200-page document that was sent to Belgium court under his custody. What happened to it? Some people are wicked and they don't even know that they are wicked. My people say that a fool that is a fool and doesn't know that is a fool is a fool. Barrister, I want to thank you. But all that this man is saying here, I want to thank you for your very kind words, because I believe that what Sama Thomas is doing here now is a cover up. The blood of Ambazonians who would have been saved as a result of that document are crying now and they are touching him, and he will pay for it. This is just the beginning. Let him not close his loud mouth, because he thinks that he can talk a little pidgin English and thinks that he can tantalize and flabbergast everybody. But Sama Thomas, your cup is full and you pay for it. You are a butterfly. I told you, you started in with interim government until your own very people flush you out. You left and joined Marianta. You disappear from there and you are now with Chris Anu. But while you are there now, in fact, he is the one who connected me to Ayaba. Calling Ayaba his brother. And he connected me to talk with Ayaba, thinking that the spirit of Ayaba will come over me, and then you will use that demonic spirit to induce me to be an opposer and join him in his dirty games that he's playing. Sama Thomas, well, Barrister, once again, this release of what you have said today, Ambazonians should listen to it. I'm going to say it in pidgin for Ambazonians to know when I get on my page. We are coming to the end. I don't want to play the rubbish. He has spoken rubbish, always insulting people that they are devils. Meanwhile, he is a real devil now in the presence of Ambazonians, that a document was given to him to hand over, that this thing would have been handled in the court, law court, and deliver Ambazonians. He took it and sat on it because he has a gain.
Let me just say this. Let me correct this point. This document for the Belgian prosecutor, like any other of those things that were found under the universal jurisdiction, was not sent to Sama for specific reasons. First, we knew that he would never understand what is in it. We wanted to control the process. We filed those things under registered mail to the prosecutor of the state prosecutor in Belgium. The same thing with South Africa. The same thing with other countries that we filed. And so, Sama had no copy. That's why I say he doesn't even know the content of the document. He does, even if you had the document and purported to read, you will not even understand, because it's full of law. We're quoting this section of the law, why this should be done like this, quoting this section of the law, why things should be done like that. He has no copy. All what he knows is that his name was used. And so what instructed to him, and the only other person will file under universal jurisdiction using their names, never to respond issues without our blessing. These were the instructions we gave him. That's why he doesn't know how to reply anyway. When the road first, the first letter I said the road was asking his own status in this thing. He didn't know that with his Belgian residence certificate, he could prove that he was competent. They wrote asking what is the status of ACT, the complainant in this matter, because ACT is the main complainant. Somehow did not know and doesn't even know. He doesn't know what a complainant in universal jurisdiction means. He doesn't know it. That's a fact. And so it was not sent to Sama. No, Sama's name was just used as a resident complainant. We didn't send this into the government, to the president of Belgium. We sent it to the prosecutor. The prosecutor is a lawyer. He understands the law that we quote. The reply they sent to me, I think 6 pages, the final reply. Why this was not done, why they cannot do this, why they are rejecting the file. It's in 6 pages. Let someone go and read that document if you even understand it. So, again, Paul Sama and many others, if you want to take up a subject, learn about it. Get yourself informed, not familiarized, no, get yourself informed about it. So, Mr. Sama, if you want to talk about plebiscite, which is a referendum, which seems to be your main concern now, go inform yourself legally, educationally, and factually what a referendum is, how they are organized. If you want to talk about this and that, you want to talk about United Nations, go educate yourself about the United Nations. From the previous things that they have done, precedent, what they did in the past, to what they are doing today and why they are doing that, why they did that yesterday, why they are doing that today. Don't just sit down and make audios for the pleasure of being relevant. That is total irrelevance, sir. Again, Abazonians, let us fight this fight. all of us. But make sure that before you step your feet into it, know where you're stepping your feet. Get yourself competent with the facts, get yourself competent with the laws backing what you're doing, and get yourself competent with the current situation that is prevailing both in Cameroon and around the world. So, to end up this thing, Mr. Sama, you do not need to be so angry because our position on the referendum has not prevented you from having the referendum. If we are so stupid, if we are so irrelevant, go have the referendum. We say we were not there, yes, and we didn't come to your meeting in Washington, D.C. You had the meeting nonetheless. Go and implement it. Go and implement it. There was a meeting that I had in Belgium not too long ago, just this week, about activists. We didn't prevent them. We didn't support them. We didn't prevent them. You are in Belgium. Go and implement the decisions. And stop insulting people for no reason of yours. Insult alone will not save us. Action will save us. Reasonable arguments will save us. And action includes drafting. Go draft a Mbeseha. Pay your full share. They can question the spending of money. You cannot ask accountability when you have not drafted, when you have not contributed anything. I've heard you and others talk about the MTT, where you had not dime there. If you had a dime, people were given receipts. Go to who you gave your money and ask what happened. They will give you facts. If you want to challenge them, that's fine. But don't go out vomiting your thing out there, thinking that anybody who has the opportunity to listen to your audio will just follow you. Maybe they do. I will not bother myself even replying to you because I know your own level. Don't expect me, Mr. Sama, to come sit here and discuss law with you. That's not your field. You have no idea. I'll be making myself stupid to engage you in legal discussions, sir. I'll be the stupid man, not you. So before again conclude, thank you, Mr. Komnando, Mr. Sama, and whoever is following this thing. Before you ever make your audio and call my name, think twice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barrister. Not only a seasoned Ambazonia, but a respective elderly Ambazonia that teaches. Your blood is not as hot as some of us when we see some of these fellows go gaga. We want to use a machine gun to blow down one person. Sama Tomod has done his worst, that he was just a custodian just because he was resident there. And now he cannot come out to tell us why he did not just do the follow-up. And now he's chanting and making noise, calling our president names, calling you names, and calling every reasonable Ambazonian names just to make himself relevant. I said it that when he discovers that he is not relevant, he now decided to go and be making a lot of audios to castigate those who are fighting so as to distract us. Look at this one precious hour we have spent. But thank you that we have done the 1 hour also to expose him how wicked he has been to our revolution and how many thousands of Ambazonians he has killed since he refused to follow up, just to follow up, not that he had anything to do, just his name and his address, just to be the custodian while the prosecutor was doing it. Sama Thomas, you have a case to answer. And that case, you may not answer it to us Ambazonians. I am telling you, if you don't repent and turn around, the devils that you are calling will now know that you are one of the devils. In fact, even Satan himself, because only Satan knows devils. And I can imagine who you are. Well, Barrister, thank you once again for coming. I want to call it a day for today. And I don't know if you have any other thing to say. If not, you can say.
Well, thank you for having me. I wish the 1 hour has served a purpose. At least it has educated more people. At least it has not educated Sama. He probably needs to go back to the hospital for his brain to be rewired. Thank you once more. Again, we're educating people. You're not forced to accept our education, but we're free to give it to you. If you don't like it, leave it. Thank you very much. I thought I should give this
Once again,
explanation
thank you, Barrister.
before those people who take things and digest have the time. That's why this prompt reply. So again, Ambazonians, you have your choices. Take what you want to take. But before you come out to sell something, be sure you're selling the right product. Thank you once more.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Ambazonians, you have heard with your ears right from the horse's mouth. So we cannot say it's a story that is framed. This is a reality. Let Sama Thomas come and tell us. God bless the people of Ambazonia.
Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. I dey hear your voice in my heart. Lord, I feel your love over me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the pillow. Abba Father, you know my name. Papa, you know me. Yeah. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yeah, yeah. Jesus, your love, now oh. My master, your kindness, now wonder oh. Every time I look around, now you are the sea. Every time I turn around, now you are the feel. Jesus, you said I be a picking, no. Jesus, you said your love go cover me. Every time I look around, now you are the sea. Every time I look around, now you are the pillow. Abba Father.